Welcome to Monday Night Call. It is the middle of September. Crazy how fast things are going again. And being that I have been gone for a week and a half, it feels like catch up time. I'm so excited to be here tonight. I wanted to take you along tonight on a little bit of what my trip was like, because I feel like there's no better example of casting vision than showing people what it was like. And so I've got a bunch of screenshots, I've got a bunch of short videos that were shared, all for the purpose of showing you what an Emerald Extravaganza looks like. And this year was definitely different. Alaskan Cruise was something Plexus had never done before, but it went with a resounding yes, put it back in the rotation from all the jewels on board. And so if you ever think of, when am I going to hit Emerald? When am I going to get there? This could be a real possibility for you. And so I'm going to start a little bit with Tarl came back. I should have pulled up that post. If you guys saw the post in Abundant Wellness that I shared about his vision and his goal for Plexus, it feels like we are back where we started, and the excitement and the vision is just so huge because this is his baby, right? Plexus is really his dream in his heart. And the more that he shares from that place, the more we can feel what he wants and what he's working towards in Plexus. I'm just quickly going to pull up that post and share a little bit on what his vision was. Oh my internet is not okay. We're going to pass that. You guys can go back, look on the team page, read that over. But trust me, he flew into Seattle to come and do the diamond meeting. He did not come on the cruise, but he made the effort to fly from Arizona into Seattle to do just the diamond meeting. And here's a couple of things that he talked about. We went through his vision of where Plexus is going. We went through, like they have been over the last year, affirming the fact that they are never going affiliate. They are staying network marketing, regardless how the face of network marketing is changing back and forth. Social media created one version of network marketing. There was over 100 years of network marketing before social media came to us, right? Network marketing has not changed, and neither has residual income. Residual income is what we all want to be working towards. It's you making money if you're sleeping, if you're holidaying, if you're working. It's you getting paid repeatedly on the work that you did back there, not just once, but over and over and over. And that is where we build a community, and your whole business is built on residual income, right? And so we had a couple of new flavors coming out. Very excited about that. Also, he alluded to a new product coming potentially around Super Saturday, but he said, now that would be really disappointing if I already told you what it was. But he did allude to the fact that R&D, like research and development, have been working super hard on creating a product that is going to go with the market of people that we are servicing. And so if you can imagine or elaborate or guess, as we all did, we were all like, is it like a weight loss product? Is it another gut health nutritional product? And he said, look at what the world is talking about. We're going to hone in on that. So that's a wide open field, but there's some pretty powerful products out there, and they always want to stay cutting edge. And so that made us very excited. Some of the diamonds were like, take my do what we need to do to have the cutting edge products at Plexus, right? Because people are going to go buy products regardless. And if Plexus doesn't have them, they're going to have to source them from other companies. Why wouldn't Plexus make some of those most commonly talked about products? So we're going there. And then we had our reveal of what our Christmas package will look like. And that's coming in October. And I can promise you, it will be something all of you will want, because it's just so brilliantly marketed. If you see the name Ashley Hauer, She's the blonde lady that has joined Alaskan Cruise as the marketing manager. And guys, she's absolutely brilliant. I've talked to this lady a couple times. I met her last year in Maui, and she was fresh and new, and she came to the Canadian focus group meeting. And immediately I was like, whoa, where did they find her? And she found Plexus, actually. So she's been a very welcome addition to bringing things to Plexus that raise the bar. It's not us lowering the bar to meet other companies where they are at, but us raising the bar to show that we are unique and we are the original gut health company. And so I want to go into sharing my screen a little bit. Have some patience with me because I tried this before we started today. I want to take you through we only had one session. It was Wednesday morning, and it was so good. I felt like just posting it wasn't enough. So I shared a couple of these things already in the chat. They will look familiar to you, but I wanted to share as we were progressing through the stories and what Christina was sharing and how that all comes together with where we're going. So bear with me. I'm going to open up my screen and we're going to start. This was a very, well, tell me what the picture looks like. Can you guys see that? It's not, maybe I should just open it up this way. That's better?
Yeah, that's better.
Perfect. So if you didn't know, or if you have been living under a rock somewhere, Helen and Sonia are like I think once we figured out like 13th generation grandmothers, these two ladies joined Sheila Medina, who is like the mother of Plexus. She was the very first diamond. And both of them came from Mary Kay. Both of them had been in Mary Kay. If that dates us, some of us know who Mary Kay Network Marketing Company was, right? She has a very cool, unique story. I believe the company is still around. I think it is, right? It has been for forever. But these two girls, I'm not totally sure of how long Helen was there, but Sonia was there for 17 years. Sonia actually quit college in her last semester to join Mary Kay and worked the business for 17 years. Now, she was driving pink Cadillacs because that's what their car program was back then. She was not making enough to make the car payment on those pink Cadillacs. And so for years, she was like slinging lipstick, selling people packages of makeup that was the new, and always trying to stay on top of fashion and what makeup would go with that, right? And I don't think anybody knows how incredibly hard that is to do sales in that market. And so Helen and Sonia got up there and started sharing of why they had come to Plexus, what had intrigued them, how the mindset battle had been within them. What do? We just quit and go to a different company. Sonia had been out for a while because she was too sick to work. And so Sheila Medina had contacted them and said, you guys need to join me in this. All she wanted was to feel better because she had fibromyalgia, right? Okay, so let's go into their introduction. I believe it's this one.
I don't know about everybody else, but I can't hear it.
Sorry, what?
I can't hear it.
Oh, shoot.
It's just like pardon the German, but it's möglich. Like there's no words.
I think that is I think I have to share the sound. Yes. Let's try this. Okay, now I can't close it if I have it on. Okay, there we go. If you paid attention to their t-shirts and the song, their t-shirts had Alec and Tara on it with sunglasses, and it said, "The boys are back in town." And that's what they were playing. It was kind of cool how they started their story and how they brought people along who hadn't been there when they were, right? And so that was setting the tone for where we were going. Now, many of you have heard, let me grab this, it's in the way of my bars here, about the Star Diamond program. This is Beth Anderson, who once came to Edmonton when we could not share product, but all we had was stories. We could share stories about the business. Alec came and he shared his vision for Plexus. We did not talk about one product. We only talked about the people that we were going to share with and the business opportunity. And we had packed the hotel conference room. There was standing room only. Now think about it. If you could not say one word about your products, Beth came and did a fabulous job with us. So I've always been in touch with her and connected with her. She just went on the Star Diamond program, which they have upgraded and changed. Remember, they used to do the yacht trip. Now the yacht is no longer. Apparently the upkeep was so expensive for the yacht. They wanted it to be more flexible for the diamonds. So get this. When you hit a 3-star diamond, as in having 3 unique jewel legs in your business, you get a $20,000 trip. When you hit a 5-star, you hit a $40,000 trip. When you have 5+ stars, so more than 5 legs with unique jewels in your first 4 levels, you get a $50,000 trip. Now I want you to think about how you would pick a trip that would cost $50,000. I cannot fathom that. I'm like, no idea how that would go. But they took their family to Italy, and every event was pre-booked. Every driver was booked. Every excursion that they wanted to do, everything that they wanted to see was all taken care of by Plexus. So that kind of blew my mind that it even was a possibility. And honestly, if you think about it, it would be 5 different people in your life, just 5 different people. So if you think about Keith Callahan's theory of find 5 people who want this business, that could be your $50,000 trip. So I just wanted to share that because Eva and Andrew together have, I'm not totally sure what it is right now. I think they have 5 now. Pretty sure. There's a couple that are not holding right now. And it depends on if those legs are reaching emerald jewel points every year, right? There's a qualification point there as well. Okay, let's go to Christina. Let me get this. Oh, sorry, I didn't grab my sound. Wrong one. Gosh, guys, forgive me.
We are in the top 1% of the entire company, y'all. We're jewels. You're jewels. So just take a second and let that sink in. You guys were on a luxury cruise ship in the middle of somewhere. I don't know. Geography's not my thing. But you're here because you did something that's really freaking hard. I made a post the other day, and this is off script, but I said in there, I didn't start because I knew that I could. I started because I knew that I would. I knew that I would do whatever it took to give my kids the lives that I saw other mamas giving their kids. There was nothing that I wouldn't do that wasn't like illegal or immoral. But this, I knew I would. I didn't know how it would look, but I knew I could trust myself. You guys, we did something that most will never do. And so it's proof that you already can because you already have. We are in the top.
All right. That was her opening, sharing a little bit of where she was taking us. And then let's go into, close some of these. A different one here. Okay, got it. So what if my story isn't over? And so sometimes we fall into seasons of where we feel like we're not growing, we're not moving the needle ahead. Things, maybe your people aren't staying, maybe people are leaving as fast as what they're coming in. And there's seasons in this business that is very normal. It's very relatable to where we are right now. But Christina challenged us and shared a little bit more. So I want you guys to either pop it in the chat or grab a notepad and share when we hit her next few questions here. Okay, so what has Plexus already given you? And what does that mean about what it could give you? So your old belief would be, well, I've peaked. Maybe I'm just not going any further. But your new belief would be, my best growth is still ahead of me. Your old belief would be, I've gone too long without a win. But your new belief would be, my next win can start today. See how we're replacing the negative for the positive? The last line says, I can't inspire people anymore. Replace that with, my story is still inspiring because I'm still in it. So set the tone for this, and then let's go into the next one. Too bad a person can't just page on screen sharing. I could have put that into a, oh, wrong one. Where's my question one? It's a little bit difficult if you don't put it into a PowerPoint that you can actually see which ones they are. Okay, got it. Okay, I want you to think about this one and pick which one, share in the chat of which one stands out the most to you of where you are right now. So there's 3 ways to rebuild stronger. Number 1, let's use the word rebuild as a good thing because it is part of our business. It will always be a part of our business. And that is what network marketing is bringing people in. Nobody's going to stay forever and never leave, or, you know, like things like that. People move because they are people. So number 1, if you are working on rebuilding your belief, put a 1 in the chat. If you are working on reigniting your vision, put a 2 in the chat. Or number 3, you're going to run with the 1. You've found one person and you're going to run with that person. Put a 3 in the chat if that is you. Little bit of both or a little bit of all 3, which is awesome. So awesome. Pick one, Val. You gotta be working on one that is standing out to you more. The others can be 2 and 3, but pick one. Number 3, Barb, definitely 1. Good job. This gets us thinking, right? It gets you thinking of where you know that your hangups are. If we acknowledge where the hangups are, then you know what to work on. Instead of just trying to make sense of the chaos. Let's look at what is holding you back, face that one, and then deal with it, right? It's kind of like saying, sit in the feeling. Okay, let me see if I can pull up the other. I need to have a Zoom lesson. Close this. All right, here's the theory of what she laid out for us. It really is a very simple system. So number one, we're finding the person, right? This is where the IPA that you are doing will lead you to a multitude of customers. From those customers, you get to pick and see of who the one person would be that would potentially run with you. Sometimes you meet someone and you're just immediately excited. Why is that? Because you understand that they potentially hold a strength that you feel is going to be very good for them, because what you're doing is revealing the opportunities for them, right? And I love how she shared, this is not about us. This is about them. Keep your eyes on them. So number one, find the person. Number two, handhold from the beginning. We like to call our new people newborn babies. And so if you think about the intense work that you do when you have a newborn baby, it is literally 24/7. When are they no longer a newborn? When they can actually start doing things for themselves, right? I think in Plexus it happens a little bit faster than what it does in a real life newborn, hopefully. But this is your chance. And hand holding means to share the things that you can do for them. So sharing things like where resources are, sharing things of how our back office works. This is where the vault chat that we have, we're going to be adding a whole bunch of more information into those chats where you go and bring them to the information and show them where it is that they can do things on their own, right? It's the watch one, teach one, and do one. You're identifying opportunities to taproot. Okay, that means you're talking about their market. Who do you know? Hey, we just did an event and you brought your sister. Should we follow up and see where she's at? This is sometimes how we do follow up. What would you think you would say to your sister to follow up? You show them how you are doing things, just like a brand new child, which is needing to be taught of how to do things. So sometimes we throw our people into the wild and hope that they will make it out alive, right? These are things of where you can really walk alongside of them and really do things together until they're ready to walk on their own. And so the launch event is the same event that we did the other day. I've been doing several of them for new people. Is so very simple. It's basically graphics explaining what Plexus is. What you do is, hey, most of my customers, just grab a few people. I will make the chat for you. You can invite them there. This is what you say to invite. Bring your friends, and I will just basically show them the basics of Plexus. Once we have done that, we can talk to them individually in a three-way chat. Very, very simple. If you use the verbiage as of, hey, most of my people, or this is what people do, telling them what comes next. And then you go back and duplicate steps 1 to 4, and you are the model example of what this looks like. People will do what you do. Let me just quickly check if that was the last of my screen or my, oh, I want to show you, and I think I shared a few of these in the chat, but I really feel it's super important to share a little bit of where long-term people are still in Plexus. Sometimes it can feel like there's a huge distance between where you guys are to where people like Amber Miller is, to where people like Lori Welch would be, Lori Bradford would be. There's a lot of people that have been here for a long time, like Helen and Sonia. They still have a story, and their story is still inspiring people daily, regardless if they've been here 17 years or 1 year, right? And so when Christina was sharing about what has Plexus already brought to you, and where would you be without Plexus, and why are you still sharing Plexus? Amber got up, shared a little bit of where, and maybe you have heard this already, but I believe it bears repeating, of what her vision is of why she keeps sharing Plexus. And I feel like this one is probably of my very favorite one, because it hits the heart of what we do.
It's not just what you said, it's not just for us. I remember really wrestling with, why did we get to be on these trips? Why do we get this blessing? Why did this happen for us? And feeling a Holy Spirit conviction, this is not for you, but the others that can come into it because you are here. And to take that talent, like the parable, and not to bury it with the doubts and the disbelief, but to multiply it all from the choices of our thoughts. So that's why I'm still here and still building and so excited for what's to come. Why Plexus right now? Because I trust it. I was watching our story, our Helen and Sonia, who's my next door neighbor, and listening to Alec and Tarl. I trust it. I trust that they have our best interest in mind and they're fighting every day for us. And I want to be paired with that through the rocky, through the waves, and through the best moments. How would life be more painful? I believe it would be so much, it's so confining, small. I would never be on a trip like this. My kids, I know that they are going to be different adults and have different futures because of the parents that we have become, because of what Plexus has pushed us through. I think different, I'm different, and that affects my children. I get to, they listen to the podcasts we listen to. They hear me talk. My kids know I'm quick to catch anything that comes out of their mouth, and I make them repeat it in the right way. I would never have had that without Plexus.
It's generational change. Not only do we change the lives of that one family, but the lives of the people that are to come in their generations because of the personal growth, because of the leadership development, and so many of those things. Okay, so that took me some time to go through, but I really hope that it sits in your heart and that you ponder on it, on how you can be that person, how you already are holding this opportunity in your hands and you can be that person. And so a couple of quick things, if you feel like, oh, I don't know, what is she talking about? How am I ever going to do that? Number one, borrow belief from others who have it if you're struggling with belief. Find people who will speak belief into you when you can't carry your own. That is such an important part of this journey because your belief is going to transfer into other people. And when you're doubting yourself, like Amber said, the doubt and the unbelief, if you are doubting yourself, you're not going to convince other people. People will attach themselves to your energy of belief. So find the people, the team chats, the places of where you know belief is grown. So that's number one. Number two, put that belief into action. Because things may be different right now, and social media may be changing, and the world seems like it's gone off its rocker. Those things have always happened, guys. Those things have always happened in life. There's nothing new on earth, and God knows everything that is happening. And while this last week rocked us to the core, there's things happening where you're just like, where is this going? There's nothing new to him. He's fully in control. If you feel like belief is holding you back, again, find those places of belief of where other people can speak that over you, and then put it into action. Do the actions, like talking to people, regardless if you feel like it or not. The more conversations you will have, the better you will get at it, right? And number three, feed and fertilize your belief. Listen to podcasts, expose yourself to places of where positivity is talked. Like Amber said, my kids know that I'm going to catch them so fast and reverse that negative talk that they had. That's something that is super powerful. If you feel like you can no longer inspire people with your story, your story is still alive if you share it, right? Go back to those slides and look at how you can reverse the negative things that you might feel are holding you back. And so I'll leave you with that. I feel like in the last while, we have worked harder on social media to gain the trust of people, and there's going to be fruit coming from that. And I'm already seeing it in many of you. Shelley has had some incredible business conversations because of the connections that we've talked about it. Several of you have come to me and said, I'm talking to so and so. I'm kind of scared because I don't know what to say next. That's a good thing. Go into that conversation scared. But Sheila has had some mini volcanoes, maybe to speak, that have been very good examples of how what you feed social media is what you get back. And in times like these, when you're scrolling, and mostly what you get to see is negativity or sadness or sorrow, we can choose to be the light. It'll have to be a choice. You're going to have to go on social media and say, I'm not going to allow this to kill my belief or to dampen my spirit, but I'm here for a purpose to bring sunshine. Holly has really been doing that. I love what Holly is doing. She's involving herself in places of volunteering where people are uplifted. That in itself is going to uplift you. And so listen to what Sheila's been doing on social media and how it's been coming back to her.
Okay, so a quote that came to my head when Mom was talking first was from Brooke Hemingway. She posted a reel about this recently, and it said, I didn't feel like working my business, so I did it anyways. Isn't that like everything in life? I didn't feel like working out or going for a walk, so I did it anyways. Because usually the things that we don't feel like doing are the things that we should be doing, we need to be doing in order for our betterment. That stood out to me. And there's so often where I feel like that. I'm like, oh, I've had a really long day. I feel like I need to go to sleep. And it just stuck with me. And I keep having that going through my mind. So a while back, it actually started with Lori Harrison's whole social media thing. It was kind of like an eye-opening moment for me that maybe I had been very mediocre in my social media for quite some time. Back in COVID days, like I was just telling Mom, we were so bold. Like we just said it like it was and we didn't hold back. And you guys may not have this problem, but I know I did. I watered myself down. It wasn't that I wasn't being me, but I was being a less spicy version of myself. I was like the mild salsa instead of the extra extra hot, and I like extra extra hot. That's just how I like things. And and so I wasn't being fully me like I could. And so then I decided, okay, well, I felt like I was kind of pouring myself thin over trying to be everywhere and do everything. So I decided, where do I have the most potential? Well, my highest potential is Instagram. So it's not that I'm getting rid of Facebook. I just don't post there as much. I talk to people on Facebook every day, all day. I have conversations there all day. My stories are connected there all day. I just don't post there as much. And I've poured so much energy into Instagram. And not that it takes up more of my time, but more that I'm being intentional about it. Mostly being intentional about um, people. And the number one thing with social media is that you get what you give. The more engagement you give, the more you're going to get. The more you are connecting with people, talking, commenting on their reels, commenting on their stories, asking them questions, having conversations. The more you do that, the more they are going to come back and be like, oh, I'm actually really curious about you. You said this? Really? You believe that too? And then I know Mom said she had talked about this in the Diamond meeting this last week. I will go and I will, right now, an amazing place to find like-minded people. Any Charlie Kirk post, any of them. That's where you're going to find like-minded people. Because, for me anyway, because the people that are sharing those are usually my kind of people. That that's pretty easy. And I will go on those posts and I will look through the comments. And those are the people I will follow. When I follow them, I'll write down their names and I will make sure that at least Once a week or every other week, I will go and check their stories or check if they've made a post so that I can connect with them more. And that's how I'm going to build a relationship with them, by being very intentional about that relationship. And when I have had a conversation with them, beside their name, I will put details about what they've told me, about their kids or about their life, because I want them to know that I care. And so I want to remember those things. But I'm a mother that has I have capacity. And so I have to make sure that I'm intentional about writing these things down. So that's where it started. That's where all of this started. And then a few weeks ago, I posted kind of like a reel that everybody was doing. It was nothing special. It literally took me zero point 0.2 seconds to make, and it blew up. I ended up with like 50,000 views. Um, and it was not in a good thing, not a good thing. It was not good. I ended up having to remove that reel because of the negative attention that it got me. It was all um, creepy men that had decided that they were going to follow me. And I spent way too much time blocking people. And then that moment, I had this eye-opening moment of it is not a following that you're looking for. You don't need a huge following. You don't. It's not necessary. I have under 3,000 followers. Now, if I was to sit in a room with 2,500 people listening to me speak, how overwhelming would that be? That would be nuts. Quality over quantity, 100%. And I was speaking to a potential this week, one of my new followers, one of my new friends I made, and I told her about how great she could be at this. And she wanted to know how much I made, and she wanted to know what I was doing. And so I told her. And she's like, yeah, but she told me all of her objections, that she didn't have a following. She didn't have this. She didn't have that. And I said, I'm so glad. That's good. Because it's all about relationship. What influencers don't have is they don't have a relationship with their followers. They can't go and say, hey, yeah, I know Betty. Yeah, I know Susie. Yeah, I know Tammy. They don't have that because they're not going to sit and they're not going to chit chat with you. That's what we get to do. We get to have relationships. We get to know them. We get to know their hearts. So you want to have that connection. Now I went and posted a different reel. And because I've been really consistent on posting my reels, I've been really consistent on posting. I'm trying to post every day. Obviously, there's days where you don't, but I've kept my consistency up. And I've been extremely consistent with putting out comments and connecting with people. That's where the magic is. Because you can post all you want, but if you are not being social on social media, it's not going to come back to you. You have to be social. You have to be talking to people if you want people to see what you are posting. If you are posting without talking to people, then you are posting with a prayer and hoping that someone will see it. But if you are posting with consistent conversations in comments, in stories, wherever, then you are going to build up to people seeing you. Now, this reel that I posted 2 weeks ago now, um, has gotten, at last I checked, 10,000 views. But before I even made it to 3,000 views, I already had 100 new followers. And they were all Christian women. I hit the right algorithm, my kind of people. And I have been taking the time to sit and message every single one of them and connect with every single one of them. And I've already developed a few potentials from it. It's time consuming, but it is so rewarding. It is so rewarding. And now what else I did is because I had this influx of new friends, even if it was 5 or 10, I would have done the same thing. Is I made sure to post reels in the next few days that really showed them who I was. From this is who I am to this is what I support to this is what I love. Because the few days after someone follows you, you are the first thing that they see when they open their Instagram or their social media. You're the first thing that pops up. So you have this little window of time where you really get to be like, hey, this is me. I want to be your friend. Let's connect. And if you message them and you connect like that too, people are hungry for a community. People are so hungry for connection. They are looking to feel wanted and to feel welcomed. And we get to give that to them. And that leads me into my last point is that it's time to be real. It's like I said earlier, I felt like I had watered myself down a bit. Um, it's time to show who we are. We don't need to show up perfectly curated. We don't need to have perfectly curated feeds. People, yes, they're fun, they're beautiful, but people are tired of that. They're tired of that. I'm sorry. If I see a mom with a perfect house, I'm like, I know that's not real. I know that's not real because I'm positive that your toddler leaves just as many fingerprints on your fridge as mine does on mine. So that's just life. And they're looking for a place where they can say, oh, you get it. Whatever that may be, whatever it may be that you're sharing. The world doesn't need another copycat of somebody else. Sonia and Helen are amazing, but we don't need another Sonia and Helen. They have their place. We need Shelly. We need Holly. We need, excuse me, we need Tira. We need all of us to show up as who we are because God has given us incredible individual gifts that the table that we're sitting at is waiting to experience because they need us, who we are. And I shared in my stories this morning that I didn't want to show up because I have a lovely cold sore. It's just right there. And that's always been one of my insecurities. And but I had a heart to share something and I felt like I should share it and so I showed up anyway. And I had so many messages from just that one moment of people thanking me for being real because that's what they've been missing. They don't care how you look. I mean, it's you don't always have to show up frumpy, right? Like we are putting our best foot forward, but it's also being real. It's being showing that I don't have it all together and you don't have to either, but we're in this together. And that's what really matters. And so if you're feeling a little frustrated with social media, it's not social media that's the problem. It's the people. And we get to be the difference. Just like Plexus is being the difference in the world of network marketing, we get to be the difference on social media. We get to be someone's light. I love how I don't remember who says it, but I might be the only Bible that someone ever reads. And so I might be the only encouragement somebody ever gets. And so I am going to show up as authentically as I can as me. And there will be people who don't like you. That's okay. There was a lot of people who didn't like Jesus, and he was perfect. So, and so with the whole social media thing, just don't give up. And it changes constantly. Just keep being yourself and keep building relationships because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. We can have niches, we can have all this, we can have trends, we can have all that. It's the relationships and your authenticity that matter. Everything else will fade away, but those two things will stay.
So good. So good. I think one of the biggest compliments I got was it last year, Shelly? I'm going to call Shelly out a little bit. She had been at convention and I forget who it was. Maybe it was, I don't know, it was someone that you knew had told you something about, yeah, March doesn't seem like a diamond. And I was like, that's probably the biggest compliment that you can give me. And it's only because not that you want to downplay yourself, but you want to be relatable. You don't have to be a different person to be a diamond. You have to be you. And so if I show up a certain way on social media, that's how I want to show up in front of my people, in front of everybody, right? And so I think we learn, and we've had so many learning curves with social media. It's been like from one wild to the next wild. They will keep happening, but how you show up, if you keep that in perspective, is going to be your easiest path. Keep showing up as who you are. Thank you for that, Sheila. I'm just quickly going to do a little bit of a recap of what's happening in September. We have double bonuses, hey guys, double bonuses and double enrollment credits. So yikes, I got to get on it. I've got people to close. Some are super close, having some really good conversations. Yes, our book study is happening Wednesday morning. And we have actually, this was one of the things that was kind of impressed upon me. I was reading this book this last week, had so many conversations with different leaders and different jewels on the cruise, and people are seeking community. And so more leaders have decided to join us. I'm not exactly sure who's all going to show up, but be prepared that there will be more than just us, which I'm super excited for, to offer other people the energy bus. This is just an incredible story. It's written in story form, and you're going to start reading and you're not going to want to stop. I was going to read the whole book yesterday, and I thought, no. I want to sit with this feeling a little bit because I want to share it. Super easy read, but very, very applicable. And all we're going to do is talk about it. So come prepared to share. It's not a hard read at all. And it's not something that you're going to be called out on. It'll be something that's going to inspire you. I'm very excited for that. Wednesday morning at 9. Edmonton event is coming up fast. September 26th. Today should have been the last day to register. If you have someone and all of a sudden you're like, hey, I have a guest, never hesitate to bring them. Bring them anyway. That's me speaking as a diamond. If I get flack for it, I'll deal with it. Look, if you have guests, bring them. I don't care what date it is. Don't say, oh, it's already closed. No. We bring guests. So talk to your people, bring them. And like I said, this week, I really want to spend time on filling up some of those vault chats. And one thing that we really, and it's still in the making, we really want to bring back is a customer chat. And this can be, some of you have these already. If they're working well for you, by all means, keep what you have. But if you have struggled with, like, I have customers, I don't know where to put them, I don't want them in a silver and above chat, where do I put these people to layer belief? We are creating a customer chat in our vault that is going to be just for customers. And yes, Val, you asked for this. It'll be very low commitment. It'll just be dripping belief and information on them. Not even every day. We're going to give specific instructions and just share the belief building pieces to keep them connected. It'll be one link into the connection, right? Reset challenge is going on right now in the USA. Canada could not participate in that beautiful cookware. I'm not sure who we should blame for that, but that was a little bit of a stinker for me. I loved that they did something like that. Like, which mom doesn't want cookware? But I'm really wanting feedback on you guys. If you want a team reset again, let's do a bigger one together. Create a chat, create some momentum on it. Shelly, you're good. Oh, Holly, you can crash the party anytime. No biggie. I'll drag you in. If that's something like the reset challenge, if that is something that you have a couple people that are wanting to do it, let's chat a little bit in the chat about dates, and then let's make it happen, because I need a reset. That ship food was a little bit too good. So I didn't feel like working my business. So I did it anyway. That's my last line on the page today. I feel like we can all use that. Sometimes my picture fell. Yikes. Not sure why that happened. That's the closing for tonight. Thank you for being here. Can't wait to see you guys.